Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello there, welcome back.
And double check and make sure everything is okay because we've had some glitches. Right now, my phone is dead.
It's totally dead.
It's like planned obsolescence. You know, we paid off the phones. We have two phones. We paid them off ahead of time. And of course, you know, it's dead. It won't reboot. But, you know, it's got so much great info on it that I don't want to lose. But, you know, the guides have been telling us too, hey, it's time for you to disconnect.
Yeah.
And, you know, we've been talking about just going to burner phones, and that's what we're going to do. So it's just you got to plan it because everything is tied to your phone.
Well, yeah, you need your phone number to, you know, as backup security for your bank accounts and all kinds of stuff. So you got to know what's tied to what number and then slowly disconnect. So I think we're just going to sort of make a list of everything that our phones are tied to and then snip it when it's time.
Just snip it.
Yep.
Snip it good. Sorry, we've been a little bit silly lately.
Yep.
So we're looking at a map that's showing Afghanistan's place over here in the world. And, you know, Afghanistan, well, obviously the U.S. spent 20 years in there. Russia, pretty much the same. It's been known as a graveyard for armies. And we've talked about, well, it's the top producing area on the globe for something that's used in a lot of pharmaceuticals, as well as, you know, some things that are illegal.
Yep.
Well, tonight, for the first time in 2 months since the withdrawal of U.S. troops, the lights of Bagram Air Force Base have been turned on. Some locals claim that the Chinese have settled there, but so far no credible source has confirmed the news of Chinese troop settlement, except for the fact that it's like, and by the way, don't worry, that's not the Chinese.
No, it's not. It's not an emergency. It's okay.
No, you know, it's not Red Dawn. Don't panic, guys. Don't panic.
It's all over now. It's all over.
We still have a little time before that to prepare. But there's so many people talking about this. There's a lot of locals saying that this is the case. They've seen Chinese troops there. And here you see Taliban Deputy Foreign Minister Mutaki met with Chinese Ambassador Wang Yu and his delegation in Kabul yesterday. It's being suggested it was the Chinese who turned on the lights at Bagram. You know, and this was an Air Force base that cost a lot of taxpayer money. You got it. So, you know, there's so many sources talking about this. Chinese troops have arrived. I'll skip. There's like 4 more that are just all saying the same thing. Then we see China builds 10 new air bases along the border with India. And, you know, this is obviously, I mean, had one of the most bizarre showdowns we've ever seen in modern day, with literally troops on both sides, China and India, using sticks and stones to fight each other. It literally was that type of warfare, sticks and stones. But it was part of the rules of engagement that they stuck to. China has reportedly built 10 new air bases along the line of actual control, the LAC, in Ladakh, which is Uttarakhand and Arunachal Pradesh. And this is a buildup that's been ongoing. India has been building up as well along the border areas as well. These are the 2 largest countries in the world, each with just under 1.4 billion people. And at some point around 2050, India's population will surpass China's. And so while China has been handpicked by the powers that be to be the, you know, poster boy of the OWN, right? Because we have to do everything up to a mirror, as you guys know, when we talk about the PCC. And the fact that, you know, this is a global takeover we're watching. We're really watching a global takeover. And we've talked about that big statement that was put out there in 2005 by a top Chinese general, top official, basically saying, you know what? #3, the attack would start with a lot of people getting sick. Yeah, exactly what we saw. Exactly what we saw. And is, in this person's humble opinion, still well underway. And this is all preparations for what's to come. You know, there's the old biblical prophecy of making way for the kings from the east with a 200 million man army. Well, they could put that many people out there. And you see China's new large UAV drone, CH-2, pretty stealthy looking. And the amount of brand new equipment that's coming out of China and Russia is staggering. But when you get down to it, if the banking CABAL wants to support any group in any way, well, they're going to have unlimited funds. And it doesn't really matter what's reported, or, you know, the fact that the U.S. military apparently spends as much as the next 8 to 10 countries combined. Of course, there's an awful lot of waste in that. And we know there's a lot of greasing of palms and the like along the way, where when you're in these other, you know, totally authoritarian regimes, the leader speaks and the work starts tomorrow or right away. And, you know, there's not necessarily the inflated bills for those $150 hammers and $20 nails. So things get done much quicker. And, you know, it's just amazing because, as we've said before, China's Navy is the largest in the world now. Russia's is number 2. They've, you know, both surpassed the U.S. Russia joins China in saying AUKUS threatens non-nuclear proliferation. So the pact between the US, UK, and Australia has riled a lot of people, but is it also just simply another way to make this inevitable progression towards, again, that hashtag 3WW scenario? It's just again, it's all, you know, it's like watching a new chapter in a play. Okay, so now, curtains are going up. Now this scene, all of a sudden we see a new pact between the US, UK, and Australia. Well, you know, that Chinese general talked about the fact that China would need living space to handle their population when it gets to be about where it is right now. They'd either have to lose half the population, perhaps knowingly, or they'd have to take over. Only 3 places would do. And Australia, the US, and Canada are those 3. You know, it's so right out there. It's just right there. And now we're watching it. Now we're watching it all go on as Taiwan is bristling and lashing out after China's largest ever aerial show of force, as the number of military craft that have been going through Taiwanese airspace continues to rise. I mean, it was like, you know, wow, there's 8 of them. And now it's like, wow, there's 38 of them. Tomorrow, what is it going to be? Over 100? You know, hey, I see nothing but boats on the horizon for as far as I can see. You know, that, again, is in the mix and part of what's planned.
Yep.
So, a large Iranian military drill on Azerbaijan border targets Baku's ties with Israel. And this is most definitely way more convoluted over there. Everything to do with Turkey is very, very, well, you just got to watch them carefully. Because, you know, here we've always had this Iranian-Israeli tension going on. And you have Iran launching a large-scale military drill for a show of force against Azerbaijan. Now, Armenia and Azerbaijan just had another war. Armenia is basically Christian predominant. Azerbaijan is Muslim. And again, this is one of the ways they keep us fighting is through these religious wars. It's just historical. You just got, you know, go back and look through, and nonstop wars amongst religion. Different people of differing religions. But Azerbaijan was supported by Turkey, and the leader of Turkey, Erdogan, he kind of envisions himself as the leader of the new Ottoman Empire, and would love to be the leader of the Islamic world in total, as we've been saying. And Turkey has had military forces in Syria, in Azerbaijan, all over the place, in Libya. They've been really, really active. Sometimes going along with the Russian viewpoint and working alongside, sometimes working in opposition. And they're actually a NATO member, to make it all more confusing. And again, they're buying more very expensive Russian equipment yet again. So, here, if they would end up in a conflict with Azerbaijan, you would have Turkey basically against Iran there. Now, there's also a lot of warming of relations between Iran and Saudi Arabia, which have always been adversarial as well. That goes to the split between the Sunnis and the Shias. And again, there you have, more wars created by splits in dogmatic religions. Always about just keeping humans killing humans.
See a pattern here?
Always.
Yep.
Always. There is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his prophet. I mean, that's right there, the number one statement of Islam. Well, that's not very open-minded, right?
In any way.
How could you look at that as an open-minded statement? And people, you're choosing to believe a dogma, choosing to believe a story because you weren't there. You didn't witness, Muhammad. You didn't see Archangel Gabriel talking to Muhammad. You're getting it way down the line. Remember that game, phone game, where we used to play that in school? One person talks to the other person tells them a story. So, Billy was walking to the store to buy a bunch of apples, and he had $1.25, and, that whole thing. And then by the time you get, 10 people in, Billy was going to buy a Ferrari with $125,000.
Go, Billy.
This is how it works. This is how it works, but yet it works to divide us and keep us forever fighting amongst each other. And we had an attack by a ninja, guys. I kid you not.
This was a really curious one.
Special ops troops hunkered down in California airport hangar after nighttime ninja attack. Yes. He walked up to the guards and said, "Do you know who I am?" Bond. Jim. No, he didn't say that part. But he did actually take out a sword and attack them. And he actually injured several of them.
He did pretty good.
This is in Ridgecrest. This is, we've been through there several times. So you got to wonder what's up with this guy. Was he MK Ultra? Was he watching too many Chuck Norris movies?
Well, he got, actually, I'm so sorry anybody got hurt, but these are special ops guys. He got the better of them.
Well, yeah, what does that say in the first place?
Yeah.
They're there on guard with their M16s. He comes up with a ninja sword from Kmart. Right? Or, maybe it was a little bit better than a Kmart.
It's still a sword compared to, they always say you never take a knife to a gunfight, and this guy did. And he didn't do too bad.
Unless you're Chuck Norris.
Right, unless you're Chuck Norris.
Or Miyamoto Musashi.
Right.
For those that, like Go Rin no Sho, the Book of Five Rings. So they don't even know if he was actual practitioner of ninjutsu. "Do you know who I am?" the ninja asked. The soldier said no. "Do you know where my family is?" the ninja asked. Staff sergeant again said no. Then he just simply started to strike at them. And he struck and hit the soldier's phone, and his knee and his leg. And he was punching doors and windows, kicking, and kind of going crazy. Yeah, you kind of wonder. Was it a case of the black goo?
Well, I was also curious because it said in there that he was hit with non-lethal weapons, and the guy kept going.
Yeah, he was actually shot with non-lethal rounds, but they still do damage. We've seen photos of them.
Oh, yeah, it like rips the skin and stuff.
Very painful, but he kept going on, and there was no report of body armor.
Right.
Maybe he was a ninja cyborg.
He might have been something.
Global energy crunch could soon send oil prices to $100 or more. I saw some people talking $190 barrel. And why are we still using oil? Well, because it makes a lot of profit and it controls people.
Yep.
And that's your bottom line. Plus, they do seem to like to pollute the planet and create all sorts of toxins, which, again, are going to lower life expectancies and give people things like cancer. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, just more of the same that we see, guys. But wait to this. Hang on to this. Hang on now. Okay, you guys holding on to your chairs?
Please hold on to your chairs.
This is breaking news. 40 people missing after the first Flat Earth Surfing Championship.
And we just report the news. That's all we do here.
Seriously, I told you don't go to the edge.
He told you guys.
Whoa.
Sorry, we had to. We had to.
So where did they end up when they go off the edge of the flat Earth?
Nobody wants to talk about it. Or maybe their cell phone stopped working or something. I'm not sure.
I don't know. Well, maybe they're having lunch with SpongeBob.
That's Bikini Bottom is a pretty cool place, I've heard.
It is.
Yep.
Thank you guys so much for your support on Ko-Fi and Patreon. We really couldn't do it without you guys. And also, when you get a chance, check out Medicinal Foods, as we've been saying. Lots of good stuff. When you use the link that's on all the videos up at the top, it does support the channel. And use coupon code EEA for an extra 5% off your order. And as you fill up your cart, you could get up to 25% off and also free shipping. Lots of good stuff, very tasty, really good for the immune system. As always, God bless and namaste.
Namaste.